Hi, I'm Jade Diamond, and this is a video about the psychological and physical reasons why you keep choosing a bad partner. I love talking about this topic. It's something that interests me so deeply because it comes up in my one-to-one work all the time and in the group works that we do. So just give me 1 second. I'm just going to share out this video. If you're on the replay, just put hashtag replay. Let me know where you're watching from right now, so I can give you a little bit of a shout out, and then we can get going. So you're going to learn the psychological reason, the physical reason, why we struggle to pick the right kind of partner, and also why we tend to pick the same partner over and over again and we get stuck in cycles. There's actually some really good reasons for this. So let's get stuck in. I can see there's lots of us live online already. Please do share this video. That would help me out a lot to get this to more people to help them understand. And yeah, that's it. All right, so one of the big reasons why we keep picking the wrong partner over and over again is because it's a familiarity. Okay, it's a developmental familiarity. So the way the mind works, it always works to move us away from pain and towards pleasure. And the mind is built in such a way that it tends to take us towards the things that are more familiar. Does that make sense? So we get stuck in habits. And actually, studies have shown that we actually think about 90% of the same thoughts each and every single day. Can you imagine? So you know how it goes. If we think the same thoughts, we then act in the same way, we give the same reactions, and we get the same results. So we tend to do what we're familiar with, and this absolutely transfers over into relationships. We tend to be attracted to the same kind of person, even if on the outside they look completely different. So your ex-partners could look like a complete motley crew of tall, short, fat, thin, outgoing, maybe quiet. But if you haven't resolved some of the deeper issues within you, they're likely to have a very similar theme that run through all of them. Does that make sense? Can anybody relate to that? They always seem to attract the same kind of partner over and over again, regardless of how they actually look. And sometimes you can start out in a relationship and you think, right, this is it. This is so different to last time. She's so, she's this, she's that. She's not like the last one. And then 6 months later, actually, you find out you're in a relationship with someone who's just like your mother or just like your father. And this is called the developmental attraction. Okay, so it's when we are attracted to someone who's like our primary caregiver, and kind of this like really makes sense in some way. It's like what the family that we grow up in is our first version of what the world is and what's safe, what's familiar, even if it's not physically safe. It's what we know, it's what we've grown accustomed to, and it's what we call family. Therefore, as we go throughout our life, we usually have a tendency to go towards people who remind us of our primary caregivers. This can be absolutely fantastic if you grew up in a great family and your primary caregivers were really available, really emotionally available. Never had to work all the time, always made you a priority. But the reality is life is life is life is life, right? Lots of us had mums who maybe worked 2 or 3 jobs. Maybe our father wasn't present. Maybe dad ignored us because he didn't have his own emotional development. Nobody showed him how to love. Maybe nobody showed mum how to love. So that when you came along, it was their first practice at loving. Or maybe they were really quite bad at it. And from that place, what you learn is, love is being ignored, or I have to fight for my father's attention, or I have to fight for my mother's attention. Does that make sense? So what happens is, and it's not conscious, 95% of our behavior and our beliefs are completely subconscious. which means that they're not known to us generally. We're not aware of them. And we're not conscious of what's driving our behavior, and we're not conscious of our beliefs. So consciously, you might never say, okay, I'm going to go and find someone who's just like my father, who was an ass, or I'm going to go and find someone who's just like my mother, who was rude and ignored me. No, of course not. But deep inside the body, deep inside the psyche, there's a place where it's like a pattern that we've picked up, that we think it's like a blueprint, I call it. So when I work with one-to-one clients, what we do is work with lifting blueprints, releasing the old blueprints, and helping the mind to align with a healthier version of what love is, to align with a healthy expression of love that's not tied up with what mother's love is or what father's love is. And this is one of the primary issues when we keep attracting partners that we're not happy with, that doesn't feel good. Does this make sense? So I can see a bunch of you are online. Hello, Bianco. Hey, Frankie. Hey, David. Hey, Jill. Hey, Emma. Hey, Martin. Tanya, Shet, Nadeem, Ems, Carls, and Dr. Zero. Very nice name. Okay. So does that make sense? So because the mind tends to go to what we're familiar with, we go with that over and over again. And what we find is we tell ourselves a story, and we actually experience, I'm not attracted to people who are kind to me. I'm not attracted to someone who is giving. I'm not attracted to someone who is open with their love. Does that make sense? I seem to only end up with guys who are rude to me. I only seem to end up with women who put me down. I only seem to end up with women who are always elusive and never really want to commune in a deep way. I only seem to end up with women who are argumentative. I only seem to end up with men who are angry and aggressive. So the first thing to do to have a look at, to start shifting this pattern and shifting this cycle, is to look at what does the essence, so not the person, not what they look like, and sometimes not even the words that they're saying, but what does the essence remind you of? What does the essence remind you of? Which parent, usually, or caregiver, would it remind you of mostly? Do you find that you're always trying to chase love in a relationship? And which parent does that remind you of? Which parent withdrew their love when they weren't happy with you? Maybe it was one, maybe it was both. Maybe it wasn't done in a big sing and dance way. Maybe it wasn't aggressive. You know, maybe there's no physical punishment, but emotionally, this can create very strong patterns where we feel we need to chase love. And then when love is presented to us, so a partner comes to you, okay, who's open, who's loving, who's willing, who wants to build with you, and all of a sudden you start backtracking, you start sabotaging, you're suspicious, your attraction for them literally drops. Why? Because what's familiar to you is the pattern of chasing love, not actually having it. So I was working with a client really recently, we had a great conversation, and she said, wow, Jay, what nobody's talking about is how to handle something once you manifest it. If you've had difficulties in relationships and then you manifest exactly what you want, your whole mind, body, and spirit can start to freak out. Has anybody experienced that? And you think, well, is this the right thing? I don't know if I'm not attracted to them anymore. The sexual spark has gone. Because quite often what we do is we mistake sexual attraction for anxiety and uncertainty. Okay, so and desire, desire itself is actually, it lives in this space. Desire lives in the space between two people, and that's why it's okay to be like this in a relationship where you're extremely intimate, and then you have your own time, and then you're intimate and you have your own time. Does that make sense? Because desire is born out of the space, but that can absolutely go over into a very unhealthy place where you need distance and you cannot have both sexual desire and intimacy at the same time. So if you've experienced sexual abuse as well, on top of that, that can make it even more sticky, because then intimacy and love and connection and sexuality all become very distorted and all mixed up together. So when someone's in a session with me, because I work a lot with abuse survivors, some of the work is kind of really getting into this spaghetti junction of blueprints and separating out the mind's belief about what sexuality is, what love is, what intimacy is, how to feel love and sexuality and intimacy as separate things, but then bring them together in a healthy way without the blueprint of abuser, without the blueprint of I must be punished, or I'm bad, or I'm guilty, or I must give sexually. This is where my worth is. Does that make sense? So we tend to keep repeating these kind of programs of behavior until we find a way to lift ourselves out of it and develop a healthier way to move forward and create healthy relationships, basically making the unfamiliar healthy relationships into something that's familiar. So I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute. One of my recent one of my most destructive relationships was with another woman who I was infatuated with. When it ended, I realized how much of her personality was like my mum. Yeah. So my understanding and belief is on a spiritual level. We bring people into our life in order for us to heal wounds. We're generally trying to evolve all the time, and life's always trying to bring us towards love. Life is trying to heal us in so many ways to bring us towards love, but sometimes that healing is like sandpaper. That blessing is like sandpaper. It's a destructive relationship. One of the most destructive and awful relationships I had in my 20s was a massive catalyst for my healing. And I got my arse in therapy after that, because I thought where someone else would have left, I didn't leave. And that's called self-responsibility, because you can spend forever pointing the finger out there saying men are all shit, men are all dogs, women just want money, women are obsessed with how they look. You can keep pointing that finger, but ultimately it has to come back to you and take responsibility. If you keep creating the same kind of relationships around the same kind of people, you're in the wrong circle, honey. You need to elevate. And the only person who can elevate you is you. Yes, get mentors. Yes, get guides. Yes, get information. But you can't magically do it and expect it just to happen. You've got to make the conscious choice. Does that make sense? So sometimes we can meet someone and we'll be like, oh my God, we talked all night. It was amazing. I feel like we've known each other forever. I feel so comfortable with this person. I feel like we really know each other. And we start telling the story that that's your soulmate. Okay, this is my soulmate. We just know each other. What it is familiarity, developmental familiarity. And then 6 months later, you think, shit, this person is just like my dad. This person is rude like my mom. Or this, fill in the blanks. Pop me a message in the comments if you've ever had that experience, because I have. And that particular man that I was telling you about, there was a moment when I realized I'd never spotted it in my relationships before, because it was never as obvious. I've been in relationships with men who were, let's say, emotionally distant, emotionally chaotic, dangerous in some ways, physically dangerous in some ways. And then when I got into a relationship with this particular man, and it was so glaringly obvious that he was obsessive and was planning to hurt me, and he's responsible for his behavior, right? But I'm responsible for myself and healing myself. It was so obvious that his gaslighting was just like my dad. It was like there was just one moment where I thought, what does this remind me of? Oh my God, this bullying energy, this tick, 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 I'm going to make you feel small energy was just like my dad. And that kind of behavior only comes from people who feel weak and secure within. Because if you ever meet a woman or you ever meet a man who are fully empowered, who feel strong, who feel secure, they just have no need to make anyone else feel small. They can deal with conflict in such a way where they can say their piece, but they don't need to keep undermining you. They don't need to keep making you feel bad, because they don't need to feel superior all the time. Does that make sense? So that's developmental familiarity. And it's something a lot of us get stuck in. We get stuck in this cycle until we learn to make the familiar unfamiliar. And the way that you do that is to say, okay, what kind of person do I want to be attracted to? So write that in the comments for me now. What kind of person do you want? Because here's what most of us do. We want to want. We want to want. So we'll say, I want someone who's loving and kind and generous and fun and exciting and da-da-da-da-da and all these things. Yet when that person crosses your path, you're like, oh, I'm not attracted to them. Oh, I'm attracted to this person instead. Now that I know that at this point, it feels like something that you can't control, but your inner work will start to shift that. So, and you have to work at it, because it's your choice. Because when you've had a difficult upbringing of sorts, or you're stuck in a pattern of old relationships, you have to consciously choose to start doing it differently. You have to tell yourself, this is the kind of person that I'm attracted to. And it's better when you actually say it out loud. You speak it. Just start talking to yourself, guys. You've got my full permission. So write in the comments, what kind of person do you desire? What kind of person do you desire to be attracted to? And then you start saying that out loud to yourself. I'm attracted to good women. I'm attracted to women who are good for me. I'm attracted to women who increase my life. I'm attracted to a woman who's available to love me, who wants to love me, and I know how to accept that love. I feel comfortable with accepting that love. Because as I said when I was talking to my client, for a lot of us, when we've got past that initial stages of making the change, we've shifted from unhealthy relationships towards healthy relationships. When we get it, we don't really know what to do with it. And this is where you'll see a lot of people sabotage love. They'll go out and cheat on their partner. They won't be clear. They won't be conscious. They'll start being angry, or their sexuality will shut off. Or they'll start being bitchy, they'll start being angry, they'll start feeling really short with that person, because on a level they're trying to sabotage it. Why? Because they don't feel they're worthy of receiving that love. They don't feel comfortable. It doesn't feel familiar. Therefore, they must reject it, because the mind sees anything that's not familiar as a threat. And it doesn't have to be logical. It's just the way that it is. Got it? So you have to create a new standard for yourself. And sometimes there is a delay between the kind of person that you were going for and the kind of person that you want to go for. And sometimes there's a gap in between, and you just have to deal with that as you're transitioning. You know, it takes time to transition. It takes time to heal the mind. It takes time to put a stop on just replicating what feels familiar. So if you know you go for the same type of guy over and over again, do something different. Learn how it feels to be connected to and to feel the warmth of a man who is available, who is transparent, who is radically loving even. And the big thing is noticing your own shadow. What comes up in me in the face of love? Do I want to run? Do I want to be bitchy? Am I fearful? Do I become suddenly extremely mistrusting? We would rather mistrust love, real love, than the same kind of woman, let's say, that we keep attracting, that's proved over and over and over again to be a bit of a shit show. We'll accept that, but when real love comes, we're like, well, that can't be true. It can't be that easy, because it's not familiar. So that's all it is. You have to adopt new self-talk. Tell yourself out loud the story that you want to create, because you're your own coach first, right? And, some of you might need to go deeper and really start removing those blocks and finding out, I'm stuck in this cycle. And you can contact me if you're ready for coaching, if you're ready to invest in yourself. You can contact me. I do 90-day mentorships with people, and my clients get massive results. They create incredible shifts in their relationships. I had a client who was in a very long-term partnership, and because she grew up in a family where she was, even if it wasn't just in the very physical words, like your opinion doesn't matter, your thoughts don't matter, your women don't matter, basically, was what it was. Like everything was to favor the men. Then as she got into a relationship, in her subconscious, the belief was, I'm not a priority. So that's what she created in her life. That's what was reflected to her in her partnership, that I'm not a priority. So everything and everybody else came first before her. And that's extremely frustrating when you can't see that, oh my God, I actually believe I'm not a priority. Therefore, the universe is going to keep reflecting that back to me. The only thing the universe knows how to say is yes. So if you keep saying, women are this, women are that, everyone's married, the universe says, yes, here, have more. Have more of that. Here's the proof. If you say, there's a beautiful love available for me, there's someone for everyone, the right thing's going to come for me at the right time. I'm ready. I'm available. I know how to receive love. I can receive love. I get all the help I need to shift everything out of the way of love. That's what's going to happen for you. The universe will go, okay, yeah, here you go. Because the universe only knows how to say yes. Does that make sense? So pop me a little message in the comments. You all are very quiet today. I can see there's a lot of you online, and normally you're very chatty. So I'm not sure if there's a bit of a delay. Sometimes there's a bit of a delay in the comments, right? So that's the first kind, developmental attraction. So that's the more psychological reason we keep getting stuck in the loop. And this is what I deal with a lot with my clients. So we start to remove those subconscious beliefs, because, remember, again, just to remind you, 95% of what we believe is subconscious. So it's not very fair, but it's just the way that it is. We don't even know that it's there. We don't even know that we've got this very deep belief that I'm not a priority and I'm never going to be a priority, and I should always just accept being second best or third best or fourth best. And until you start to prioritize yourself, and go back to some of my other classes and have a look at this on my page, J Diamond, Ms. MS, Jay Diamond, you got to start prioritizing yourself first to show the universe, yes, I am a priority. Yes, I am worthy of being loved. Are you loving yourself? Or are you waiting for someone to save you? Come and save me and love me, and then I can love myself. And although that can absolutely happen, I used to kind of think, yeah, you've got to love yourself before anyone else can love you. It's not strictly true. It's not strictly true, but it is the quickest and easiest way. I'll tell you that. Sometimes the love of someone else can heal us very deeply, much more than our own love can, or in a different way, let's say, than our own love can. Sometimes being loved by someone in a really healthy way opens us up in a way we've never experienced before. And that is a really, really beautiful thing. But we have to be available to let the love in. Does that make sense? And so the other kind of attraction that could keep getting you into trouble, and we definitely see this one, is just chemical attraction. It's just pure chemical, sexy. I want that person right now. My whole body's going nuts when we're in, like, literally they come in the room and your whole body starts to tingle, your whole body starts to move, your sexual energy starts to shift. That is a chemical reaction. So what happens is on a pheromone level, on a chemical level, our bodies, from an evolution perspective, we're built to reproduce and keep the human beings alive by reproducing, right? So basically, from, I don't know how far away it is, but it's quite far, from like meters and meters and meters away, we can actually pick up other people's pheromones their chemicals, and they can pick up our pheromones, our chemicals, okay? And so if between them you've got what's the word, immunity for over 50 diseases, I think that's it, that between you, if you were to produce a child, that child would have immunity between you to over 50 diseases, then your immune systems say, that's it, it's on, let's get to it and let's pop some babies out. And that's that kind of uncontrollable, kind of sexual, hardcore, amazing sex that you can have with someone. It's like, oh, mind-blowing, right? But then, and that can last for some people, it can last for 6 months, 12 months, up to 2 years, but it generally never gets past 2 years, that very intense sexual energy, because that's the time that if you were to get pregnant or to get a woman pregnant, and that once that child's passed kind of 2 years, I guess nature says you're out of the danger zone now. And so, you know, if you want to stay together, great, and if you don't, great. But you've got past the danger zone, the kid's still alive, you've mated and you've bonded to make a healthy baby. The baby's on its way. And so the sexual chemistry that you did have in the beginning, the extreme sexual chemistry, will start to drop, because it was just a chemical attraction from the beginning. And that's the point where it's like a crazy thing where you can kind of come round and think, you look at this person, all of a sudden you think, how the hell was I ever attracted to you? You are not what I want in my life, but you've had a kid with them by this time. maybe not, right? So, and then you start to realize you're not actually compatible. They're not actually what you want. You start to notice things about them that you didn't really notice. Everyone's putting up the hearts and the likes, so you know how this feels, right? And you think, what was I thinking? You are not the kind of person that I want to be in my life. I can't live with you. How are we going to do this now? And then you've got to deal with that, because the relationship was purely built on the sexual energy and the sexual chemistry. And sexual energy is pretty much the strongest energy that we've got on the planet, that's ours, right? So it's extremely powerful, extremely overwhelming. And so we just follow it. And then we're trying to make a relationship of it. And that's where people say love is blind. People allow all kinds. And it's the same with developmental. People allow all kinds of behavior that they said they never would allow because of this strong chemistry or this strong developmental familiarity, where it feels like the love of a parent. And so because subconsciously they don't want to be rejected by the parent, they start acting crazy and allowing things in the relationship that they would never or should never allow, because they want to hold on to love. With the chemical attraction, it can be that they're just completely blind to it. Whereas like maybe in the developmental, they might be a little bit more aware of it, but they kind of don't feel that they can or they should change it. With the chemical, that stuff just gets you love drunk. And it's a very intoxicating feeling, isn't it? Like we've all been there. It's an amazing, strong, deep feeling that is overwhelming. And you just think, yeah, just let that take over me. It's so intoxicating. And there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just giving you the information about what to do with it, because you have to look at, are we really compatible? And that's these are things about having conscious conversations. If you're looking to be in some kind of relationship or partnership, or, you know, respectful coming together in some way. Because whatever it is, whatever kind of way that you're coming together with this person, it should be respectful. It should be kind, and it should be loving in whatever level of love that means for you. Even if you're coming together for one night, you can come together in a respectful way of each other. Doesn't mean you have to get married. Doesn't mean you're indebted to each other for life. But there should be a level of respect for each other there. Yeah, and kindness and compassion. You come together and then you go. And then, or the other way, you know, you're trying to create a relationship together. You need to think about what's compatible, what's kind of a more long-term, have we got some things, our main values, are they in check? Where does this person remind me of my mother? Where does this person remind me of my father? And these are some of the strongest things that influences when we keep picking the wrong person over and over again. So I hope that makes sense. Pop me a message in the comments. I can see there's so many of you online, but I don't see your comments, guys. Have you got any questions before we move on to a short energy healing? Because I want to give you some downloads that are going to help you receive love, because that's what we all deserve. It's just that sometimes some of us have to do a bit more work than others on being able to receive it, of allowing ourselves to be a priority, of being able to choose good, healthy partners. So it's all making a lot of sense. Good. Maybe I'll do a different video on soulmates, life compatible partners, and that kind of stuff, because we've been going on quite a bit. Cherry said, tuning in with my boyfriend and he's taking note. Good man. That's what I like to hear. Hi Patrick. Hi Laura. All right, so no major questions. You can always, if you're on the replay, you can always pop a question in there and I can come back to you if I can. Please do share this video out, because there's a lot of people. I am 100% sure you have friends who need this information to realize what they've been stuck in and to start a different level of self-talk. I didn't see anybody write in the comments yet the kind of person that they want to be attracted to, because that's going to have to be the basis. Even if you're in relationship already, I want I'm ready, I want someone who is kind, affectionate, or whatever it is for you, exciting, joyful. Maybe you're always stuck in relationships with people who are really boring, and what you want is some excitement. But maybe the excitement scares you, maybe passion scares you. If you've had experiences of sexual abuse, another person's passion can be quite scary. You might want the excitement, you might want sexual connection, but when it actually comes, you can start to feel very overwhelmed by that and then shut down, and then even try and shut the other person down because it feels like a threat. So you have to give yourself the soothing self-talk that says, I'm safe. If you are with a partner that you know you're safe with, I'm safe. I can learn how to be passionate. I'm able and I can receive passion. I can enhance my own passionate energy. Come on my retreat in June, you'll get your passion back. I'll put a link in the comments at the top. It's just for women. Sorry, guys. It's just for women. And we're going away to Cyprus for a week, which I'm really excited about. And yeah, we're going to go deep into self-love and nurturing and sensuality and develop passion for yourself, for your life, and for a partner. It's a beautiful, nourishing space for women. It's called the Reconnection Retreat. All right, so I haven't seen any questions, so I'm going to crack on with this energy healing. I'm just going to go into it today and just give you the downloads rather than doing all the testing that we usually do. So to explain how it works, if you've never been in a healing session with me before, everything is at your own free will. So I'll ask, can we download you with, or can we release something? And you have to say yes out loud for it to happen. Okay, so I'll be tuning into it, and it works just the same if you're on the replay, by the way. And it makes no difference that we're on the other side of a computer screen because it's energy work. So I don't need to hold your hand. I don't need to do a little dance. I just tune into the Most High, and you basically work as a vessel. And then you just say yes, and then the magic starts to happen. So you can start to feel some energy shifting. Sometimes there's heat, cold, flashes of memory. Sometimes there's emotion. Allow everything to come up and be released. So we're going to work just a short session on being available to healthy love. Okay? All right. So just close your eyes. I'm going to tune in. And just take some deep breaths into your lower belly. Okay, let's start. Can we start by downloading you with unconditional love? So remember, you need to say yes out loud to receive it. I can hear some of you going, oh yeah, okay, yeah. And can we show you how it feels to know that true love is possible? And that true love is possible for you? And can we show you how it feels to enjoy love? To know that you can enjoy love, that it's possible, and importantly, that you allow yourself to enjoy a healthy romantic love. And can we show you the Creator or the Most High's creator perspective, understanding, and definition of what love is, what romantic love is, what partnership love is, what love is in a marriage? Yeah. Can we show you that? And then align your mind with the divine mind on that. Remember to say yes. Okay, so what I'm feeling coming up in this group field is this kind of feeling of regret of making so many mistakes. So can we just lift and transform this energy of regret? Because that's actually blocking some of your relationships and blocking love coming in, because it's like a belief like, well, I've been so stupid in the past. I actually can't have great relationships. And so that belief of I can't is putting a massive barrier between of love, because love's trying to come and get you. But it can't get in where you've got all this kind of regret and I can't have great love. So can we just transform this belief that I can't have great love, and let's transform all of this energy in the system, all the energy that's ready to go, that has regret about past relationships, because this is going to clear the space for you to receive love. Yeah, so remember to say yes. And that's going to be the last time I remind you. Good, good. And so I'm feeling a lot of you are carrying, which is very usual, you know, a lot of ancestral sadness, fear, burden around relationships. Can we actually remove the belief on any level that relationships are a burden? And I'm feeling this quite strongly for the men, because, you know, traditionally men have been the sole providers of families, and you know, not that long ago, many generations ago, many men were working extremely hard manual jobs, especially men who was in our ancestry. We have male family members who have worked extremely laboursome jobs in order to provide for families, you know, especially when there was no contraception, and there could be 6, 7, 8 children to feed. It's not like it is now when we might have 2, 3 kids. So can we just lift and transform all of that burden energy from relationship from you? And then in place of that, can we show you how it feels to know that it's possible and that you can, and that you can be available to, and that you allow yourself to have enjoyment in relationships, that you can enjoy yourself in relationships and feel free inside of a relationship? Just take some long, slow, deep breaths into your belly. And can we remove any soul fragments that might have been exchanged between you and someone else, where you've been told you were a burden? And this might be by a parent. It might not even been in the words, but it might have been in the energy. Some of you holding this belief that you're a burden on others, and it's stopping you really receiving love. So can we lift and transform any belief that you're a burden on others? Can we really shift and transform that, because you definitely don't need that anymore, and show you instead how it feels to know that you are a blessing to others, that you add light, love and value to other people's lives as well as your own. And can we show you how it feels to know, experience and believe that you really matter, and that you are someone's priority, that you can be someone's priority, that you can be number one in someone's life. And this is, it is coming from quite a childlike place, but there's a part of you that just, just really wants to be special to someone. Can we show you how it feels to feel special to someone? And to be able to believe that and open the receptors of your being to how it feels to feel special, and to really be able to receive that loving energy from someone, to really know that you're special in somebody's life. Good, 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 good. Woo! That's a big one. Wow. Okay, so some of you are kind of struggling to release this belief I'm a burden, because there's a bit of fear, because you kind of got such a strong identity as that. So can we show you how it feels to identify as yourself, being a free being and being a person who adds value to others, and to identify as yourself without feeling like a burden, that you can do that, it's possible, and you can receive that right now. And let's just show you how it feels to have a real shift in identity where that's concerned. To know that you're a person who really adds value, and you know how to add value to yourself and to others. And let's remove any belief that you have to earn your keep. Yeah, you have to sort of earn your keep in someone else's life. So that's creating this cycle of overgiving and exhausting yourself, and actually probably irritating your partner by overgiving all the time. You're not giving them the space to give to you. Let's show you how it feels to have a relationship where you can receive graciously from a partner, and a partner gives to you freely. Woo! Gosh, there's a lot of stuff here, guys. There's a lot of energy around this. Let's download you with more unconditional love. Breathe deeper into your belly. And I'm just going to bring down, is it okay to bring down the energy of the archangels? And let's bring down the archangels to surround you in love and show you how it feels. So let's just show you how it feels to be open to the energy of love. And let's ask the angels to surround us completely and shower us and show us love, and just re-assimilate the vibration of our being to love and receiving love, and how it feels to be loved. Can we show you how it feels to receive a healthy love, and how it feels to be surrounded by the angels and be bathed in love? Just say yes to that, and then just be open. Slow breathing. Oh, wow. Whew, I've not done this before. It's just come up right now. Just let that energy sink into your body and breathe it in. Let that angelic love, the feeling of how it feels to be deeply loved, deep inside your body's cells, mind, heart. Let your vibration be raised. Let your frequency be raised to love. And let's show you how it feels to know that healthy love is safe, that love itself is safe. And that which feels unsafe is not true love. Let's show you that. Just take some more long, slow, deep breaths. Okay, beautiful. So just write to me in the chat box and tell me what your experience was and how that felt. I had a very interesting, I was expecting to feel the energy from the outside, the angelic energy, but actually something came in like this inside of my heart that just kind of, sorry, I got something on my dress. I don't know what it is. Something that just felt like, whoa, like I don't know, like a blast of love almost, in a way that brought a tear to my eye, which is nice. A really strong sign that the angels are there. The angels are with us. So, any comments about how you experienced that healing? So while you're popping that in, I'm just about to go out and meet a friend. But if you're interested in any one-to-one work, so this work just for you, assigned to your life, if you feel like we'd be a really good match, then do contact me about a 90-day mentorship that I do with men and women all across the world. So my clients are international, from Singapore and the States and Spain and Germany and Greece. Then I have some in England as well, and we do it all via Skype, so it's very easy. And they have incredible shifts, very deep shifts in their marriage that creates more togetherness. One of my clients has just told me that they're pregnant. If you watched my live the other day, I announced it because they sent me a message. They were trying for a baby when we were working together. And 8 weeks later, after we'd finished the work, 8 weeks later, they got pregnant. And this was like a massive miracle. This is a beautiful woman who's in her mid-40s, and they'd been wanted a child for quite a while. And yeah, they got pregnant. So I'm really happy about that. And then I've had other clients who message me again. It's the thing is, I do classes like this, or we do one-to-one mentorships, and sometimes I don't get to always hear what's happening for people, but I love it when they feedback. And like after a year, one lady did my workshop. She didn't even have one-to-one work with me. She did a workshop, she took notes, she took action, because that's the important thing, is taking action on what I'm telling you. You can listen to what I'm saying and just go about and do the same sort of thing and get the same sort of results. But if you take action, this woman messaged me and said, I met and married my twin flame since your class. I did what you said, and now I'm married. And I've had engagements. I've had women who have been single for years after coming to my retreat. They've almost all the women on my last retreat are in relationships now. Some of them have been single for years. Some of them have been widowed. Some of, just amazing stories. Some of them have been fighting cancer, and just like incredible stories. So this stuff really, really works. And it's absolutely worked for me. And that's why I really believe in it, why I share this so much, because it's made such a profound impact on my life in the way that I think, and my ability to create good relationships and good partnerships. And yeah, it makes me really happy. All right. Oana said, thank you, Jay. Perfect timing. Christina said it was great. Okay, perfect. Well, you can always pop another message. I'm going to go now. Please pop me a message in the chat for this live. Let me know how your experience is. And you can check out my website, jaydiamond.net. It's in need of a massive overhaul. It's not very fancy, guys, I won't lie. I'm trying to get it worked on. But, my gift is this. This is my gift, not websites. Although I know it matters. Yeah, I'm working on it. Anyway, have a lovely day. Take care. Bye.